Okay. equal stream.
You should have thought about
We're back.
shouldn't you? Oh, what happened to your head there, bud?
Okay. So, Mort, before the stream dropped and we just went to a be right back screen. Anyway, Mort. As you're looking through these journals, Lordio kind of looks over to you and says, "So, how was your trading with Martine?"
I guess good. I don't.
What was it like adventuring with her? She always seemed to be a little brassy, as it were. Of course, we were always on a little bit of opposing ends.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes she can be a lot, but I guess when we were kind of in our home setting at the time, you know, just quiet at night. You know, she's intense, but she's not hard to be around.
I'm surprised that most of you deaf clerics are not more macabre, as it were. Even you, for all of your, or lack thereof, charm.
Okay.
Do not go on and on about death. You do not stand upon soapboxes. Even Martine seemed more focused on living than preaching about the afterlife. I guess I'm curious, what do you think about death, Mortimer?
Yes. Thoughts?
I'm a scientist, so do I.
I guess for me it's always been complex. I understand that it's something that needs to happen. It's something that's always going to happen. I don't necessarily think it's something that should be prevented, but sometimes it does feel, well, cruel and random, but we just have to kind of keep our heads up and go along with it.
Death is fair. It's an equalizer. It doesn't care if you're rich. It doesn't care if you're poor. And those of us who try to cheat it, especially through magic, it puts a wrinkle in reality itself. It doesn't care about class. That's what I love about it growing up. I don't like when people use it as a bargaining chip. I guess I'm seeking answers too. Brundlefly seems obsessed with immortality.
Yeah, that's...
But in a different way than Vel and his notes seem to be interested in. But it seems as though you've spoken with her yourself.
Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't say we're friends, but it's...
Neither would I. Trust her as far as you can throw her. She's more dense than she looks.
Could throw her pretty far.
You probably throw her pretty far. Even though she's not there. Actually, you're literally there, like, shooting. He's talking about these punctuated by, like, cannon blasts from the turret. But
Flying could throw her far. Flying trusts people too much, I guess.
at the fifth lab, where Or it might have been laboratory 4 or whatever it was.
I trust
The
you
one,
for miles.
the one off and away from Whisper Brace. He says, Brundlefly had been there for some time, but she was gone. Well, before you all got there, she brought the beginning of the chemical compounds for Fade. However, yeah, I distilled my own pure recipe. This is not what was sold on the streets. This remained with Brundlefly's recipe. However, this change was brought through by Ursul Ilbrook, and I fear that the Fade may have deeper intentions if it should resurface. I'm not sure what, but there is a compound that I cannot distill. And I would ask if our adventures take us elsewhere beyond Tabula in separate ways, that you at least keep your ear to the ground. We are not always elbows locked together, you and I.
Right.
But you have more medical knowledge than most in the party. And perhaps a more discerning eye or ear. And some of them are brighter than they look if you dangle a carrot in front of them. But I am worried that if Ursul should push this again, should it resurface, that there may be similar consequences to the takeover of the city and the mental wrangling of the guard. I don't know what, per se, but I fear that our beginning experiments, it may be along those lines. Be careful if you go farther in. I intend to, if you return, have this ship with an accelerated movement rate to get us to the city in half the time that we intended. But while I'm gone, and he reaches into his, not his coat, he goes over to his, it's like a tiny little, like, travel bookshelf, and he reaches, kind of pulls apart, opens up the book, and pulls out a bunch of folded pages, and he says, I nicked some of Brundlefly's notes before she left. I've obsessed over them. I have read them, I've copied them, I've taken what I need, but I think you may be able to use them and perhaps take and glean what you can. I will physically get them to you, but he hands about 5 pages of notes over. You notice not all of them are the same handwriting,
okay.
But he says, these are what I stole from her personal stash of books when we were sharing a laboratory, because I knew she was stealing some of my information, those mechanisms, those butlers about her. That is a Lortio Advarian design, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she may be all about the biometrics and the mechanics, but it's yes, you want to talk about robotics.
Do they have any weak points, just in case we ever come to blows, just that we should know about?
You are off formidable right now, but I don't mean to toot my own horn. If, even together, if you should find yourselves in an encounter, especially with the two of them together, let alone Brundlefly alongside them, it is best to think of a way to quell them. Individually, they are made of a very dense alloy that is part adamantium, part orichalcum. Difficult to break, sunder, truly dismantle. They can be hindered, stopped for a time. But it is very difficult to truly destroy them. However, I have found that a little bit of a surge of radiant energy can slow them for a time. And if you should be able to bring them down, they do stop for a few minutes before they kick back on with their replication that it keeps them going. I really outdid myself, but she took all of my damn notes. Believe me, I couldn't copy them. And then she split town, and this is what I was able to grab with my suspicions, and unfortunately were confirmed when she took all of my information and my prototypes. But if you should encounter those two specifically, do your best to separate them, because fighting both of them at once, especially should they have their canes in hand, I do not recommend it, even as you are now, and possibly even a little bit beyond this. They are formidable. They are meant to be my personal attendees, to give Mono a chance to rest. He does not know how to calm down. So I thought these would help. Somebody stealing them.
Did somebody say Mono?
Yeah, right? Somebody stealing them.
Go back to sleep.
Yeah, right. Okay. She cuddles the pillow.
Yeah, exactly.
Someday.
If you should encounter them, search for the joints to slow them. Radiant energy may physically slow them. And if you can bring them to a halt, knock them unconscious, as it were, you can buy yourself 5 to 10 minutes of time before they come to. Unless Brundlefly has done some immense sort of reworking, there's no tracking mechanism on them. It is simply just below general sentience. They follow general commands to a point, but they do not have free thought, so they cannot seek you out. Should they reboot, they will find Brundlefly and seek out future instructions. I hope that's some help.
Yeah. Just in case.
Your monk friend. I was pretty aggravated that he didn't remember what was on the other end of things, too. I've always wondered.
It depends on the person. His just happened to be a black, sludgy abyss.
Pointing as always, Serbia. She's right. But I know I have quite a checkered past. I've sent many off this mortal coil, personally and on a ripple effect. My parents, not the least among them. And I intend to take at least a few more with me before I myself go, including Miss Ilbrook herself. I do hope you all will be there with me when that happens.
But I'm gonna upper deck her face this time.
I would like to see that.
Insane encounter to have off screen. That's over with.
Yeah. God damn it, I'd be so upset. However, I will not, like I said, be venturing with you further into the Everglades. Be safe.
Yeah.
I intend to go party. I do hope you join for a little bit. But if you ever want to chat about what you think happens after this grace beyond, I'd love to hear your thoughts every now and then.
Yeah, partying sounds good.
Party it is. Cowabunga it is.
More skateboards away.
Mordio absolutely skateboards. But it is in the most flamboyant 90s skater
It's like a ship deck and then mud.
Yeah. It's just bright neon sound effects, windbreakers, stretch pants, everything.
He is the brightest.
I got a hoverboard. Yeah. Called Toucan.
Is there anything else you guys want to do this evening?
Yes.
I'll give Braddock and Talani gift of luck and myself.
Braddock would like to collect a sample of the water and a sample of the soil.
Yes.
And he would specifically like to test for traces of necrocore in both of them.
Just taste it, and if it's really tasty, that's how you know.
I don't know. That could just be the gators.
She's not wrong. So you know probably the best person for this is Julian, on the ship, or they at least might have instruments.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Braddock's working with a 19 intelligence.
Yeah. He's passed the fuck out on it. He's like, there's notes. You can see he's actually got. Give me a invest. Do you look? I guess does it matter? Do you just go and grab the shit while he's there, or do you look at what he's studying?
I guess I would take a quick glance at what he's studying.
Give me an investigation. Music got nice and pretty.
That would be a. I've already used that today, definitely.
She just gave you Gift of Luck.
Gift of Luck. I almost consider that going into the next day though. So 12.
Okay.
I'm also not overly worried about the roll.
Okay.
There will be more important rolls.
A lot of stuff poured over. Lots of scribbles, lots of different paper. From a lot of it looks like paper even that matches some of the stuff you guys have pulled from the grottos. But you see the apothecary set there, not in use. There's nothing bubbling, nothing boiling. If you're safe with it, he probably won't care if you take it.
I don't want to take it. I would just sit there and do the whatever test I'm doing in his.
Give me an intelligence
lab. Intelligence check.
Yes.
I have not used Braddock Inspiration for the day, however, I know that.
Inspired!
My Braddock Inspiration dice was better than my actual intelligence check. That will be overall for an intelligence check, a 15.
Okay. The dirt.
I don't understand any of this, but I'm powered by casserole, so I can do most things.
The dirt is fine. The water, it does.
You can do it, Brady.
The water has it's for the slightest moment. You know, you're trying to get some sort of a little light as it burns out. Yeah. And it's so quick you think you miss it, and you got to collect some more water. If it's in the water, you're not sure if it's the water or pieces of stuff in the water. The water itself is probably fine, but the fish might have some in it, or at least the transformed fish might have some in it. The bay water currently might have a bunch of infected fish bits in it, given what the last afternoon held.
Yeah.
But you can get a sense that the general environment hasn't been infected yet.
Okay.
It's not endemic.
Because I was like, we're getting close to where I know there was probably a lot of this. Does it actually completely overrun an environment eventually?
Maybe after it's been exposed. On Amberwood, it had been exposed for at least 60 years. The evening goes on. Cassidy.
Then Braddock will go out and get
as you party, as you go on, some ladies are flashing you eyes.
Oh boy.
Quite a few of them.
Several opossums.
Several opossums. Ladies of every walk that live here are kind of hey there. 20 feet of teeth amongst all of them. I'm kidding.
It doesn't sound like you're kidding.
I mean, to be fair, one of them's a stork woman, so there's no teeth in them. But a
sentient stork. Where is it?
I want you to roll me a Constitution save.
This is where I came from.
Throughout the night.
Someone slipped something in my
Cassidy.
drink. Constitution saving throw. That is a 21.
You're holding yourself pretty well. Anybody who's keeping their eye on Cassidy sees these ladies eyeing him, and he kind of smiles, and then sits back in his chair. You guys see him just sort of enjoy friendly conversation throughout the evening, even with some ladies, respectful, but just talks with them, ends up coming back to the boat alone, maybe even helps some drunkards find their way safely to at least the stool.
While the partying is going on, can I do like a general perception check?
Yeah.
So, like, just to see if anything strange is going on, because I would say that given his history, he's used to partying so much that he over time got accustomed to like keep an eye out for other stuff that's going on. But so perception.
Party different than I do.
That is 15 on the perception.
It is a party, but as always, you are keen on things, looking around.
Things are going well. This is strange.
Yeah. For a moment, and this only happens maybe like halfway through the night. You see some people in. You think you see at least. You couldn't see the flames, but you swear you see people in robes similar to the ones in that first cave that you follow these folks to.
Mm-hmm.
But you see them just like going down an alleyway.
Mm.
With the lights kind of seeing their shadow as they walk down. Even kind of following and walking, not too far, but even just peering down the alleyway. You don't see them. None more of them pop up throughout the night. There's no like attack or anything. You don't see any like.
Mm-hmm.
Nefarious intent. There's nothing going on to where you're
right.
Think any imminent attack's going to happen. It's just one of those weird. You're not sure if you saw it or if it was just a trick on the eyes.
All right. So when I am done partying and I go back to the boat, I notify everybody else, and then when I'm 51st dates myself, I make a note for the other me to know. So like, hey, while the party was going on, I did notice some guys in cloaks that were similar to when we went to the first grotto, so there's a good chance that someone's keeping an eye on us.
Let's drive away.
You just leave them. So,
what you
guys want to do tonight, or are you going to leave in the morning? What's your plan?
Let me roll a couple Constitution saves. I have advantage. That's 13.
For what?
Constitution.
For drinking.
Oh. Sirmia is definitely kind of just sort of shooting off into the sky by the time some of you get back. You can see 2 empty just mason jars next to her. Like halfway through. Her face is about as red as Kenny's shirt right now. Not as red as her hair, but probably singing a song in bad halfling that Christopher halfway taught her when she was also drinking at one point.
I'm slurring the whole thing.
Radical form into a large brag and just be like, if your liver's bigger, you can process more.
I don't think that's the point.
If you enjoyed the drink.
As you guys make it back, spend the evening. Could I have a percentage roll dice from everybody?
Oh boy. 6.
Who's gonna die tonight? 15.
I'm pretty sure that's what I got last year.
67.
I also got a 67. This is the second time in a row that I've shared a dreamscape with somebody. I did it with Talani last time.
Talani.
And I rolled a 6 2 times.
Talani also got a 6. Talani and Serbia are so tight they share dreams. I don't know what y'all doing, but
we're gonna make a secret handshake.
And what did you get?
A Brett, I got 15.
Okay.
Me and Talani make a secret handshake in the dream.
So similarly, to before you guys all kind of find yourselves floating up amongst the Lubra. You can tell that you're above Serpenbrooke. You can sort of see yourself pulling up from your body, and you can see everybody else sort of pulling up from everyone else's room as you're leaving the ship. Each of you in your dreams, you're sort of represented by an astral light form of yourself as you go up.
So is this going to be day Cassidy, night Cassidy, or both?
This is day Cassidy. This is the Cassidy that...
Because
he turns into day Cassidy specifically when the sun comes out.
when does he sleep?
What?
Does he sleep?
Yeah, well, like when it's technically the same body, so he still gets the same amount of sleep. It's just that day Cassidy.
Half the time is day Cassidy and half the time is night Cassidy.
Which is Cassidy Prime?
that
Who does he think he ultimately is?
Yeah, because it's your dreamscape. How Cassidy views himself in his mind.
So Cassidy before the curse would probably just, granted he was a teenager when he got infected with the curse, so I guess how he views his true self is like how he was when he was a teenager.
Okay.
Because he doesn't really know what his true form would look like without the curse now that he's an adult.
His true form. However, so as you guys get there, you see it might be Cassidy, but you see that.
Who's the kid?
Get
out here, kid. This is not for you. Get out here.
And then you hear like not in daytime's Cassidy voice and not
Hey guys.
and not exactly the same as nighttime Cassidy's voice, but just like kind of like a mixture of the voices, but since it's a teenage, he's younger. It's like, don't worry, guys, don't. It's me. It's Cassidy. Although I don't know why.
Age. You gotta go now.
Go
hang out with the other teenagers. They're having their dreams over there.
You guys start to
Are we dreaming?
like spiraled in one direction. Braddock, you start to veer off, and Serma, you and Kalani start to tear off. Maybe it'll be sad. Morton Cassidy, you guys sort of spin and spiral, and you can see Braddock is sort of close to you. But you guys see yourself sort of careening and veering through the Everglades, and then you eventually see what looks like an expanse, an opening of some sort. It's hard to tell in the kind of weird fuzziness of the dream, but eventually you can see what looks like in the middle of whatever this expanse opening is a building. And if everything else is covered in fog, there's just a light shining down on this building. And then the doors open and it goes farther in, and it's just close to the next door, You can see things not clearly, pounding on glass, screaming, people writing things down on pads of paper, looking on the other side of the glass as you're going down deeper. And you guys see yourselves pulled down into what you feel is the deepest part of this. It feels familiar in a weird way. You haven't been here before, but it has some vibe, especially to you two. And then you two especially, but all three of you feel it. And you get a very clear, everything comes into focus on this red liquid down at the far end, going through tubes. Some of the tubes lead into a big hulking body that looks kind of familiar, but it's a little fuzzy. It lies lifeless on a slab, with some of these tubes pumping red stuff into it. And you guys feel that weird kind of dissonant heartbeat again. It's hard to describe. You don't always feel hungry in your dreams, but you guys feel a little I'm a little peckish. I could go for a nosh right now. Have a nightcap. Cassidy, you take note probably more so than the three of them, even with his intelligence, just given your background. You can't see details very well, but there's a lot of tech in here. There's a lot of people in lab coats. There's a lot of stuff happening.
Hmm.
You could understand it more if things were in focus, but you get a sense that you're sort of peering through like a foggy looking glass. It's like somebody's not cleaning it on the other side. And as you guys are seeing this, you all notice that in front of you, not individually, you notice that for once that you're all together, and in front of you is what looks like the teenage Sunny. He kind of out as you guys slowly start to careen back towards your beds. Sermian and Talani, you guys get pulled off down to the east, similar to before, and you get pulled into like that large mansion out in the bayou. And you pull in to the window where you know that Cece and Butthead were being yelled at by that oddly proportioned vampiric gentleman previously. And it's just them, and it focuses in on Cece, and she turns and looks at you. Like she's looking, you feel she's definitely looking at you. It's not just like at the camera. It's like you're like, oh, she's looking my way, and you're like, oh, she fucking sees me, and she's like, you have to go.
Go where?
You can't be here. We're gonna get in trouble. And you hear like,
I didn't ask to be here.
Who are you talking to? Who is that? And you hear somebody knocking on the door. You have to. And she looks over, and you can see Sunny kind of next to you, and she says, "Please, take them, just somewhere safe. We'll try and find you again." And she try and like puts her hand out towards you, and it like you feel yourself like just get ripped away by like a strong wind, and you kind of spy around. And Sunny's like, "I'm sorry, she's pushing us. I don't know what's going on." And you kind of like ass over kick yourself, and you go falling back towards Serpenbrooke. You three see Talani and Sermia just go like down towards.
Maybe that's a metaphor. You know, it's going to be weird. None of us are going to remember us talking to each other as we wake up, but this is fascinating. The astral plane's weird.
You guys go spiraling more towards kind of like the center of the island. And you see, while there is a bayou and a marsh, you can see a thick mangrove forest in the center of the island. And down right in the center of that mangrove forest, you can see a tiny little hut and some smoke pouring out. And it pulls farther in. And Sunny's like pulling on your guys' clothes, like trying to pull up. He's like, "I can't. She's got an anchor. And he keeps getting pulled down, and you guys are getting closer and closer and closer until you see sitting out on the lawn, bubbling something. You see a few bones popping up, and they push them back down with a stick. It's a hunched over figure of just like a gnarled tree of a woman, cartoonishly ugly, like a big ol' hag's tooth, like looking up, and she looks right up.
On a scale from 1 to Day Cassidy.
Oh, Day Cassidy looks like a normal person compared to this woman. She is.
What's for dinner?
Yeah. Braddock turns to the back. You just got to have confidence in yourself. What makes you ugly is you just don't have the confidence in yourself.
Yeah, that's the curse.
That's what makes
self-consciousness.
That's hilarious. Sermia, as you say that, she kind of like looks, and she's got like one eye kind of squinted and one eye that's just like totally bugged out and it's like looking all over. And she's looking not like, because Cece was looking at you. Like, she's kind of looking in your general direction, sniffing, looking around. "I know someone's there. Who's spying on old man? Why don't you come say hello?"
Sammy, I think we're caught.
Like half vicious mockery and color pretty.
It heals her.
My soul has been helped. Oh, God.
Okay. This is why I wish spellcraft was a skill check. Give me an... Oh, this is weird. An on a... What the fuck? How do we do this? Give me a charisma check. Just a charisma check.
Okay. 8.
Okay. You say it, and she's looking around and goes, oh, voices on the wind. Was all down here and thinks it was that you giving me confidence.
Who?
Oh, quiet now. Fine. I'll wait for you.
Who's she talking to?
I think she's talking to us.
And she goes back, and you can see, like, a hand, like a visible hand, like, comes up out of the pot, and she, like, pushes it back down with her stick and starts stirring it.
Looks so
Takes
tasty.
it with the ladle.
Miss, don't drink that. No.
And you guys swirl back up, and you're all together now. As you're slowly descending, down towards the SS whatchamacallit. And Sunny looks to all of you and says, I only have 1 or 2 more days where I'm able to make this connection with Samhain approaching and Harvest Tomb.
You're going
the
to
veil,
bed?
well, it will be hard for me to connect as the connection between this world and the afterlife will... The veil is thin right now. But after Harvest Tomb, it becomes a lot harder to pierce. And in a sense, I'm kind of fresh. I'm kind of more in the middle than most. But is there anything that I can try and figure out for you? I feel like I'm just ripping you left and right with what I'm able to feel. I only have a little bit of time at sunrise and sunset to kind of look around, but time passes different here, so if it's not too specific, I can see what I can figure out.
I want to know what they're doing with your body. And probably if there's a grotto on this island.
I was going to say grotto and where the lab is located.
You said you have plenty of time when time passes differently? Is that what you're trying to say?
It might only be an hour or 2 hours here, but in the afterlife, it'll be kind of like a full day's worth of checking for me. So what was it? You can each get 1 question.
What are they doing with your body?
What was yours, Bradick?
Where is the lab on this island?
Kalani will ask where a grotto is. Or if there's a grotto on this island. Because she doesn't have a choice.
Sammy is going to take my question.
Any thoughts, gentlemen?
You could send him. Would you have relayed what you saw about the men and
yeah. The men from earlier tonight in the cloaks that were following us. I want to know who they are and what their intentions are.
I can take your question if you don't have one.
No, I have one.
Good.
Probably not going to benefit us, but is there anything you wanted us to pass on to the people of this side? Anything?
I mean, we're kind of gone from Amberwood.
No sending.
Oh.
I just haven't had a chance to ask you that yet.
I'll give you a freebie on that one.
I still can't think of anything, so I'm more than happy to take your idea.
Yeah, sure. Oh, you mean give me another question?
Yeah, give you my question. I don't really have that.
Is my mom alive?
Jeez.
He settled. I mean, might as well ask.
Some of us already know the answer to that question. Not me. I mean about my mom.
You could find out anything. Why do good things happen to bad people?
That's really where Mort is right now.
You can let... You can let Alicia know that I'm safe and that I've passed.
Thanks,
I'll
Alicia.
try to visit her on Harvest Tomb in some way. not in a scary way. I know given context, it's probably not great for her, but if you can think of a more gentle way to relay that message to her, that'd be great.
Yeah, and the good news is she already knows that you're safe in the past. I told her since.
I appreciate that.
But that's good to know. For me, I guess I was always hoping you would get some kind of closure with it. That was I'll make sure to give her forewarning so she doesn't. Yeah. So she's decent when you're around.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we might still be able to talk to you through our ghost boy.
There is
maybe, yeah.
something that's come back to me from my time when I was with my body. There was somebody. They visited maybe 10 years after Gilsrin first had me. It was a young man, part elven, maybe? He seemed to know a lot. Him and Gilsrin didn't necessarily get along. They fought a lot. She did the same thing. That golden armor that you guys made her do, he got her to that point too. But he just wanted some of the information about the masks that she made, and he went on his way.
If anybody read the journals, that's definitely valid.
Yeah.
He really liked masks.
Did you see
one of those.
What color his hair was?
It seemed red, but more of a strawberry blonde. It looked kind of like your friend Julian, not.
And this would have been about 50 years ago. Yeah.
Only 50.
A little bit of elven descent. Not a pure elf, but they had some elven blood in them.
Right.
It looks like their hair was red with a little bit of blonde.
Okay. That's alarming.
But I could have sworn they had a little bit of horns as well. Like
also alarming.
What are they called? Not like a devil, but like they had devil blood.
The TT?
Yeah. I couldn't really communicate, but I remember that. I didn't catch their name. Gilsrin and I weren't always ever on the best of terms, but I remember that fight. I remember she almost unlocked me to fight him, but if he got her to that point, she was afraid that he might have been able to destroy me. I wish I could have caught his name, but please be careful. Yeah.
He's alive, man.
It's good to know.
He left. If I remember anything else, I'll try and let you know in these next few days. But best of luck if you are headed.
A half-elf tiefling. Someone of that descent might be dead, unless he's like switching bodies.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this person definitely has something to do with, all the air and belt stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still dreaming?
Mort wakes up.
Literally, as you say that, everyone in their own self.
Wake up
I forgot what happened. What?
Yeah, right.
I would do that like when the sun came up. So by the time I wake up in the morning, I'm already in the shrunken form.
Do you ever wake up mid-drink?
No. The only time I'm conscious when I change is when I grow at night.
That's weird.
We all grow at night, at least the guys.
But you guys all wake up. You all remember your dream. You don't know if anyone else remembers their dream. As you're all eating breakfast, Christopher's got waffles, bacon, eggs.
Soup for Cassidy.
Yeah, soup for Cassidy. Fingerfish soup. No, she's got.
I cast purify food and water.
Parsnip pancakes. So they're like potato pancakes. Homemade ketchup. But Julian comes in just dead tired. And he says, "So,
Oh, you didn't sleep, I guess.
I've been studying a lot. I've been looking over notes of things. Stuff from back when I was doing my first grottos with Everest.
Slowly handing the bottle of boundless coffee.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to roll every time that you pour out of it?
Oh, yeah. It's fine.
Oh, it's good. What are the journal pieces that you have? You have a few complete ones, yes?
1 to 3 complete and like the start of 4.
I've been looking over the notes. Someone was using my apothecary set last night?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh! Good work. Good work. Thank you for cleaning it up. It was nice.
Yeah.
I can show you how to use it sometime. I've got some extra ones back home at Morsk. But speaking of... I have the rest of the 4th journal. It has been taking me forever. It is spread across multiple grottos, pieces, scraps, but Everest and I found them. I threw them into a box before I came over and got my paperwork from the houses so I could do the grotto searches in the Louvre, but it just struck me last night. I was dreaming about it. It was weird. I like got pulled up, and then I remember being like yanked down like through the clouds down to my house, and then like underneath this like trunk under my bed. Gosh, I haven't touched it since I was like in my late teens, early 20s before I went out on this trip. But guys, I think that it's there. I think that we might have the 4th journal pieces collected. Again, you don't got to come with me to Morsk, but I'm bringing it back with me to Tabula at least before we leave. At least you can take it with you. But I'm tired as shit. I appreciate the inclusion as always, but I really want to get this ship done. And Lordio is on a fade-induced sort of torrent right now of fixing, and I kind of
background there he is from the back.
Yeah. And I cannot leave him alone.
I got the East Wing done. Took me 5 minutes.
East Wing? What? Oh God. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go paint the stairs. I have to keep an eye on him.
I'm inspired by Jackson Pollock today.
Oh, Vale, will you help me keep an eye on your brother?
I'm gonna draw you.
Yeah, no. When I'm done with my breakfast. Anyway, she gives you 2 more doses of the Atvarian poison.
Oh, fun.
So you can apply it twice more to things, the 3d10 extra. DC 16? 15? I think it was 15. Might have been 16. Might have been slightly higher than average. But DC 16 overcome for half, 3d10 extra damage. Julian says, I'm so tired because when I woke up to use my apothecary set, I was making these for y'all. And let me see what I got here. He gives you guys...
Oh, here we go.
2 healing potions and 1 greater healing potion.
Thank you.
And he says, I do not even have the proper supplies left to make any more of these. This is what I got. I'm tapped till we can get to the city, or if we hit one of the big merchant sort of vessels that come through.
I have 2 greater healings right now, so...
I have 1 healing.
Word doesn't carry very many potions usually.
If you are the Talani.
Yeah, like
I have 1 healing, and it's only to get somebody up when I don't have.
You carry a healing potion on you, so when you fall down, we have something to bring you back up with.
Yeah.
That's the potion of healing. Then you have a potion of superior for when shit goes bad for yourself.
I don't have any encouraging speeches, but anybody want some fade before they go? I'm offering free.
The kids are like, me and no.
What is this?
Just playing. You don't want this. No, you're going.
I am
to dangerous
I'm
waters.
just
I'm
looking
kidding.
at him.
I'm kidding. I do not condone drug use.
Neither do I. Gotta be diplomat.
More blushes.
He'll boost some of it.
Is there anything else you guys want to do? What is your plan?
I suggest that we take the ship around to the hut on the east side. I don't know how long that's going to take.
I've had the thing on autopilot all morning.
You just left with the sun.
Autopilot.
If it's 195 miles for the whole thing, it's like 90 to 95 miles to that hut.
I'm not opposed to that idea. I actually think it's a good idea, which again is why I put it on autopilot. Autopilot is just I parked one of the teenagers out on the hall and went, keep it on the thing, it goes.
You press his button, autopilot.
I'm working very hard here, guys.
It may look like I'm napping, but it's constant calculation.
Geez, sweet shit! We're in the middle of the fucking ocean. What'd you hit out here?
Oh, it's one of the wolf frogs.
Yeah.
Instead of Jinx, you level up when you say the same thing.
Fuck, why not? You guys are gonna level up out here anyway.
He said it! Can we level up now?
Up right now.
Yeah!
Right now. I don't care. It was gonna happen next
I
session
cast
anyway.
mass heal wounds. I can finally do that. I'm just gonna do it. I'm kidding.
And I'm
wait
going
for
to
his own
take away. I apologize, Solani, but I'm going to take away the artificer infusion that she has on the harpoon because I get 2 additional.
This is bullshit.
I get 2 additional artificer infusions, but of the total amount of artificer infusions I have, 2 of them have to be on my armor, and I can apply different artificer infusions to different parts of my armor. So, like the helmet, the main thing, and the boots.
You should make a barrel of return.
Oh, I will keep track of that.
That's hilarious.
So scary.
You gotta make sure you don't break it. It just to be the Mario metal box.
We make an orichalcum barrel.
If you guys found it,
That was so much damage. So happy.
It would be. But if she did it, I would honestly give her like a 2d12, like, bludgeoning.
That teleports back.
Yep, that's just Mjolnir's back to her.
Yeah, that's I gotta do
She
that.
has to
at
do
some point.
a save every time she catches it.
Also, Braddock, I meant to tell you this.
Or get knocked
You've
prone.
noticed you'd probably need about a week's time to work on it, but now you got 2 extra hands to do shit, even if it's just keeping the ship straight. Lordio knows how to drive a ship too.
Turbo!
But if you studied,
I'm not trusting a guy high on Fae to steer my ship.
if you studied that rune that you got and sort of did the work that you guys did, you could get a possibly 3-time use dimensional shackle, like how you had for Sunny.
Okay.
It would have basically 3 charges use of the spell. But you know, you'd need like about a week of studying the rune, but then after that it would work like any of your normal runes, you know. You'd have to get you'd probably need masterwork shackles.
It's a good thing I'm doing important work while I'm steering the ship. Hey, get it right.
Eventually, you guys,
Back to the room.
judging from the map, figure out where you need to get off, unload the swamp walker, and make your way deeper. Make your way downtown.
So if we make it like halfway, I don't know how long it takes.
Basically, within the day, you could make it to the old village, like maybe 45 minutes to an hour before nightfall.
Okay.
Maybe better if you roll a high survival check as a group.
And our ship is just going to stay at the hut, probably.
You could anchor at the layaway point.
And,
Well, Lordio, Malthea, Julian, and Christopher are all staying on board. That's a quartet of characters that I would love to do for an adventure. Just like Lordio the Artificer, Malthea the Assassin, Julian, the gunslinger artificer, and
I'll play
the
Maltea.
Christopher the thief.
Yeah.
And Liz can play Mana.
God, it would truly be the women of that
I'd play
force
Rose,
leading that the whole time.
Mordio has no need to lead, and Julian was too smart to try and speak up against the two of them.
You know, I had an idea. Oh, did you? No.
No,
I didn't.
my idea was whatever your idea was, Christopher.
Is Christopher actually Linen or pretending to be Linen?
She is Linen.
Oh, okay.
I now have access to Artificer 3rd level spells, and I have access to Haste.
Oh
by
yeah,
the way.
you got a spell book, didn't you?
Yeah, so I can do mass cure wounds now.
And I have access
Yeah.
to my
Did you
bard
get your
spell.
next domain thing too? 9 is a big
What?
one for some people. Yeah, spellcasting.
I got it this coming level, and it was also potent spell casting. So yes, and I haven't done many Cold Dead.
Brad, did you get anything?
Indomitable.
Which one is that?
That is the one that allows me to roll
pretty
re-roll a saving throw.
That's right.
Pretty lackluster.
Actually, what's fun is because I was building a homebrew class, I was comparing other fighters, and I'm like, levels 9, 13, and 17 all have some ability that like grows, or you can use it multiple times a day, that sort of stuff. Indomitable's the fighter, brutal critical is the barbarians, which is arguably the best one.
Yeah.
Okay, Chaos and Greater Restoration.
9, 13, and 17, it doesn't seem like you're gaining anything as paladins or rangers, but you gain spells.
That's a game changer.
Which that's your thing. Which is why I have my thing that I put in.
I guess Song of Rest upgrade, proficiency bonus upgrade, another spell.
Oh, also Raise Dead.
Oh,
and access to my Bardy spell.
that's a game changer.
I get Scrying too. I get some fun stuff at this level.
Scrying is a completely underutilized spell in my personal opinion.
Next level, I get an upgrade to Bardic Inspiration, Expertise, and Magical Secrets. So that's a big one. And 2 more spells now.
So judging from this with the map,
So 4 spells.
using the boat, you notice that Lordio is definitely like the engine's boosted a little bit. You're able to get where you need to within the day, but it's pretty. If you roll a high and I did a group survival check.
Good luck.
I got a 21.
Ooh,
Or no,
20.
if we leveled up, I got a 22. Because half my proficiency bonus.
The level up will be when you guys pull into harbor. Harbor. It's a fucking
18.
on the shore. These are all really nice.
13, and then Talani gets like a 7.
Okay. She's sleeping, cuddling the mono pillow. So Sermia, with your 3 high rolls, especially the nat 20, you guys see there's a Bulba coming out for you in the dice. It needed to happen eventually.
This one has been on opposite today because I rolled a 19 out of 20, which is one of those that usually never goes above like a 9.
Yeah. But you guys set out, and the 3 of you kind of help navigate Braddock, where he's more having trouble with. It's hard for him to focus on the map and keeping in the right direction because he's focusing on the very treacherous terrain, making sure you guys. Because if you guys get gunked up, you got to get off of the swamp crawler, go down into the water, and untangle yourselves. So, not exactly the waters you want to find yourselves in, especially because it's kind of violet hour, to where you're hoping for a high survival roll so that you don't get caught in the dark too late without some sort of safe spot. But the old elven town might be worthwhile. But you make your way downtown, walking past faces. I fucked that up. Past.
And you're homebound.
We took the swamp crawler to the town.
You take the swamp crawler, and now it's dark by the time you guys get there.
I have hung my lantern on the side.
It's got a very faint lime green to it. It's not like vibrant, but they're out.
We traveled like 100 miles today.
Yeah.
Kid's not bad at steering a ship.
Yeah, it's like 9:30. It's like 9:30 in like early fall, so it's like dark. You guys are.
I mean, we don't have to worry about the mist. Technically, we just have to worry about zombies after a certain point.
Yeah.
So it could even be like 11 when we get there.
Mm-hmm. And with the nat 20, and this might be thanks to the boost from Zabalba guiding you, you guys do get there. You've noticed in the swamp every now and then some willow wisps, like just sort of lighting up off in the distance. And this town's no different, just like fireflies. They kind of. Some of them even form into like echoes of people kind of walking in and out of what look like burned out huts buildings. But I'll include the nat 20 for the survival, the 21, the 18. You guys do find a building that would basically house you well, provide a decent amount of protection.
Is this inhabited or?
It is. Give me an investigation.
11.
It's not too hard to tell
Or 12.
that you see some bones actually kind of laying on the ground, but no incredible outward signs of, being inhabited.
Okay.
It's not like anyone's like cooking. It looks empty, very much along like what Grillmore kind of described happened to his people. Empty, burnt out, destroyed. You can tell that these are the remnants of a village, but it's definitely like nobody's been here for a long time.
Instantly throw 3d4 inches of height.
Roll it.
No, it's next level.
Oh.
Predix is gonna wake up. Hey everyone.
You roll it in front of us.
Actually, what's going to be hilarious about that is that's actually going to be very bad for me. I'll probably have like half movement because my leg is not going to be properly sized.
Oh God, Lordio's going to have to.
I will have grown, but the other leg will have grown longer, but the middle won't have. I'll wake up. Hi everyone.
Or just your torso grows, but your legs are the same length.
Legs are this long, he's this tall, head this tiny.
I need a larger helmet, like.
What? Somehow I grew taller, but my head shrunk. Oh, wrong.
No.
No.
I thought it was faster.
Mamma mia.
Damn, got him with that excellent remix.
I didn't know if it was a flipper.
It's something like
No, it's black on the bottom.
this. You guys are in the bay. In the bay. In the bay. In the bay.
The proficiency bonus going up is nice, though.
Oh, so there was one artificer infusion I thought I was going to be able to do, but I don't have access to that. So because of that, Talani will still have her returning harpoon.
Oh, I see.
infusion.
So I am insolvent.
Either that, or I can make a new infusion and just do it on a barrel. And she'll just have to hold on to that barrel.
I just think that's really funny.
Wait a minute.
Real intent.
Don't forget to put your swamp crawler lock on it.
Yeah, right.
Attach it to the stop sign over there.
Alright, so the artificer infusions that I currently have on my armor are enhanced defense, which just gives me a +1 to my AC. Enhanced weapon, which I can do on my armor weapon. It gives me a +1 to attack and damage rolls made with it. And boots of winding path. While I wear the boots on my armor, I can teleport up to 15 feet as a bonus action to an unoccupied space that I can see, but I must have occupied that space at some point during the current turn.
Nice, like a rewind button.
Mm-hmm. Basically, what's her name from Overwatch? The one who says, "Don't worry, cavalry's here."
No, Tracer.
Tracer, that's it.
Alright, so you guys have pulled in here. You are in this building.
That's an interesting word.
Yeah. This is just so we know where you are.
Fusions of 2.
And I think everybody else is over there somewhere.
So Talani still has her returning harpoon, and Mort still has his spell refueling ring.
Okay.
Who's taking first watch?
I'm so good at watching.
Are we going overnight, or?
I'm gonna.
I mean, you could push through the night, but you can't do the whole island.
All right. Okay.
Nobody's going to volunteer, but it's happy to take the first watch.
Okay.
Who will take second watch?
I will.
Okay.
I'm gonna give the same people a gift of luck again.
Braddock, roll me perception check.
I don't need to use gift of luck for this. I already have advantage on perception checks. I am rolling like garbage tonight. That is going to be a 14.
All right. Lots of sounds out here in the bayou. You see some undead walk through every now and then. Nobody wanders into the building, but you even hear some big stuff kind of out in the woods. Nothing that comes into your immediate view from here, but
Fuck Moose-esque.
quite possibly.
Fuck Moose!
Oh, there's one.
That is their traditional call.
That's how we started calling them fuck Moose. They just say fuck all the time.
And they're moose-like.
Fuck!
Oh, there's a dead one.
But your shift
giving
goes.
birth.
You hear something kind of pushing around farther out in the woods, but nothing that comes into immediate view. You know, you guys are pretty off and away. Nothing that would draw attention to you. Cassidy, roll me a perception as you guys change shift.
That was cocked. That's going to be a 7.
Cassidy, you fall asleep. As you guys wake up in the morning, you hear some noises from out in the general area.
In the town?
Yes.
I peek out the window.
So, those of you who are on watch, what's happening outside? Who had fourth watch?
There's only
Guys,
two watches.
who was watching?
There's only 2 watches.
What do you mean there was only 2 watches? Once once Cassidy's done, he's supposed to get up for the third person. So who'd you wake up for the third watch?
He fell asleep.
I've got the march thing. Oh.
I'd go wake up Morge for the third watch.
You're asleep though.
Cassidy, go find out what's going on outside. Out the door.
All right.
You have volunteered your services.
Okay. You see, who looks outside? Anybody look outside?
I
Just
get
peek
pushed
out-
out the door, so I
I
guess.
peek out the window while he
Yeah, I
looks
peek out the
Okay,
window,
give me
push him out the
Give
door.
me a perception check, everybody.
Everybody, I got a 9 or a 10.
Well, better. I got a 16.
Another 19. That's going to be a 25 total.
Natural 20.
And for
Wow.
Talani,
24 total.
10 plus whatever Talani has, so probably 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she's got her proficiency bonus up too. All right. So there's a few things going on in this town.
It's day though.
Turns out
It's
there's
day.
5 zombies
It's
right
morning.
outside the front door.
You
Yeah,
notice
the right person out. Hard to fight through that armor.
some people in red and black robes.
Are they looking at Cassidy?
No. Or right now they are. Cassidy, give me a perception check. What did you just roll one?
I rolled a 16 for when you had everyone roll
Okay,
all
Is
together.
there anyone curious about our vehicle?
Oh shit! Thank you for reminding me of that.
Oh boy.
That's probably the direction I was looking.
You can see
With my
that
heels,
there are a number of them.
they die.
Mhm.
Are they trying to hotwire it?
They're checking it out. You can see them starting to look around.
We don't put anything in there.
Cassidy, give me a stealth check as you're shoved out the door, unless you don't try to hide.
That is a 15 on the stealth.
Just roll for 1,
Oh,
2,
wait,
3,
actually,
4, 5.
No, wait, actually, because I'm in my infiltrator armor, I have advantage on stealth checks. Better, that is a... What's the bonus for that? Stealth, that is a 17.
Okay. You kind of find a spot to dip behind the building here. One of them points and goes, "Hey, go and check over there. Thought I saw something. Maybe it's whoever left this thing here. Don't need any trouble if we're going to take it back to the lab." And then someone's like, "Hey, keep it down. You know, we're just on recon out here. No loud noises." Yeah, all right. Go check it out. Stop your pissing and moaning.
Oh, God. Okay. Hold
Are
on.
they going in Cassidy's direction or
Yes.
into the house?
Cassidy's direction.
Okay, so let me see here, because my part of the armor spells that I get access to when I level up, I have access to lightning bolt, which is always prepared, which is basically fireball without harming everyone in a radius. Let's see, it's 400 feet.
About me getting up and going to the other shops. Oh, upsetting.
How far away are they from me now?
20 feet?
30? 25? 20?
And then how far away is this guy for me?
40, 60, 80?
Okay. This is going to be nice. So since the two guys heading for me are basically in a straight line, perpendicular, like parallel from where this guy is, I'm going to cast lightning bolt in a straight line from where I am, which will get those 3.
I'm just still looking out the window like, oh, snap.
I think you'd have to move to get all 3.
Actually, he is in a straight line. He could get them. He'd have to kind of step out to get them.
It would be. It's 100-foot line, and everyone within 5 feet of that line.
It's a 5-foot wide line.
Yeah, 5-foot wide line.
It's not a 50. It's not a 15-foot radius. So
that would be a beam, not a hole.
Yeah, you would have to like move here to hit all 3 on a single shot.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
All right.
They all have to make a dexterity saving throw, and the DC for that is 18 or higher.
All right, 2 succeeds, 1 miss.
Okay.
They're on guard.
This is around the time where Braddock's like looking to the side of the window, notices the person on the boat.
Nice.
Serpenbrooke version of a guard. Town guard.
His ash is out of alignment.
So on a failed save, they take 51 lightning damage, and a successful save, half of that.
All right.
8d6.
Yep, and I rolled 8d6.
All right, I need
How
everyone.
do you get 51 lightning damage
48
off of
is the max.
8d6?
48 is the max.
Yeah.
I rolled...
48 is the maximum you can get off of that.
I rolled 2 6s on... So I was rolling 2 at a time. I got 2 6s on one of the rolls. And then the next
How about you roll 8d6 at once, and then count them up.
Okay. I'll just roll 8d6 at once then.
Because what you did is
Yeah, I miscalculated there. 5, 6. All right, let's try that again. All right, so 6, 7, 13.
That's 12.
12. Yeah, I can't do math today. 14, 16, 17, 20, 25. Okay, so 25 lightning damage on a failed save, and half that unsuccessful.
That's pretty standard for lightning bolt.
Okay, I need everyone to roll me initiative.
PP. I got 21.
Of course. The second I begin testing this dice, it gives me a nat 1. Because I'm like, alright, we got 2 19s and a 20 with this dice.
Let's go.
Right, maybe things are looking up for this time. Okay.
19.
Mort sleep.
Mort sleeps.
Braddock got a 20.
Mort's in the process of waking up right now.
Kalani got, I think, like a
I was using the bathroom, just like, no.
11 or
I gotta go.
Talani got an 11.
Yeah. I don't know if she has a 18 or 16 bits. Oh shit.
Mort, you got a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Talani now just has like almost rage at all times.
Cassie, you got a 20.
I got a 19.
Brady got a 20.
Journey got 21.
I'm so excited about. I took a sheet so I get to add my proficiency bonus to spell save DCs of cantrips. And I told the deck now has a DC of 21. can't hobble. So things can't run from us.
Well, mine's not as good, but now my spell save DC is 18.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's specifically on cantrips where they have to roll like a save. Like, so it's not like my always DC is that level, but
Okay.
Mine's 17.
my always DC is 19.
Mine is non-existent.
For now.
Unless you get a specific spell, and then it would be based off of whatever you cast it with.
I have like spell-like abilities. I don't have spells.
But if we get a rune that requires a DC, then what would it be?
All right.
Based off of your rune?
So,
It's based off of a couple things. It's usually based off the rune itself. We'll tell you con or wisdom.
Oh.
we're
Another
at 10
number?
o'clock. We're going to do one little cap here, and we're going to start with combat next week. All right? With this order. But as you shoot this, there's a blast, and you see these three, like, they're scrambling, they're trying to, like, get their weapons ready, and this one is like, go. They're looking up at the sky, and then you guys hear, and you see a shadow pass over by, a large reptilian shadow.
Oh boy.
Black dragon.
What? Why? You're in a swamp.
More specifically, Braddock doesn't care about that. Let it be known, Braddock is busting through the window while growing in size, going, "Get the hell off my boat!"
As you guys notice, flying high overhead, a black dragon scoping out what is going on in the
There's
marsh.
about to be some fuckery about this. What's going on?
Does it look young?
It looks like it is on the cusp of young to adult. It's not necessarily full adult.
So it also just leveled up.
Pretty much.
Well, if it's on the
Yeah,
cusp
we'll
of
look
young
before this.
or young to adult, it might be looking to level up, and we might be its XP farm.
And
They
that's
don't want none of this smoke.
Didn't know about the wolf frog traps.
You just gotta stay by the beach line farming wolf frogs. That's what we did.
and that's where we're gonna pick up next week to see how this plays out. As Cassidy's out in the middle, he's the only one out in the open right now, actually.
I'm trying to look for the back door.
Right.
I see the dragon and I go for the back door.
All right.
You talk to big guys. Back it
Thank
up.
you guys. We'll pick up here next week. Keep on questing. Good night, everybody.
Good night.